Somebody once told me interpretation of the Bible is critical. If you don't understand it, false teachings come into play, false understandings, false religions. But how do you know teachings are correct from the Bible if you've never looked outside of it? Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me on Ever Wonder TV. Now, as much as I like making you guys wonder about things, I just wanted to touch base on some things I've been talking about lately. I've been talking a lot of things about, the Anunnaki, who is God, who created the Bible, how it's been manipulated, and so on. I've been talking, about different religions and things like that. And somebody came up to me and was like, interpretation of the Bible is crucial. Like a lot of people, they take the Bible and they manipulate it to their benefit, and they get a different understanding than what they're supposed to be. And that kind of goes outside of Christianity. Now, one thing I want you guys to understand is that I was raised as a Christian. My whole household went to church. Like, that's all I knew. But majority of my life, I would read the Bible and things just didn't sit right with me. Like, how did Noah fit all the animals on the ark? Was the tree really a tree? The tree of knowledge and the tree of life, obviously, I'm talking about. But, so things didn't sit right with me, and I always wondered, was it symbolic of something? Am I missing something? Why do people live so old, in the Bible days, Noah living 800 years old? And why can't we do that anymore? Why in the Old Testament did, God show up multiple times to tell people what to do and how to do things and destroy cities, and why doesn't he do that anymore? So things just didn't sit right with me. So I started getting into researching meditation techniques and spiritual beliefs, Reiki beliefs. I started looking into there was a woman I used to follow called Dolores Canyon. She, talked about past life progressions and regressions and how we're reincarnated, and her belief system and what she studied and taught. I started looking into different religions. What's the difference between being a Christian and being a Jewish? What's the difference between a Hindu and a Muslim and a Buddhist? And so I just started exploring different cultures, different religions, different belief systems, because I don't know if everyone believes it's a religion. What their belief system is just their way of being, their culture. But I truly honestly feel that how can you be so quick to judge that everybody's wrong, that we're interpreting the Bible wrong, if you've never even researched anything but the Bible? Of course you're going to believe the Bible is the truth if that's all you ever read. Basically, what I'm saying is, if you never left your house, you would believe your house is the biggest house. So if you never leave your religion, not saying you have to worship other religions and other gods, but do your research. Figure out what else is out there and what you can compare your religion to. And honestly, you might grow stronger in your religion if you understand the other religions. You might be able to, take the pros and the cons and, that can't be right because of this contradicts that. Or if this is older than this, then maybe this kind of came from that. Maybe it stemmed from that. Just like they say, Christianity stemmed from Judaism. I think it's important to do this, to do your research. 1, you might realize that not everything is the truth. 2, you might be able to grow stronger in your religion or your belief system if you realize maybe not everything's the truth. Then you can focus on the truth. Do I believe there's a God? Of course. Do I believe everything in the Bible is true? No. Do I believe there was a lot of symbolicism? That's not even a word. Symbolicism. There you go. New word for the day. I believe there was definitely some manipulating. I definitely believe that if you take the religion out of your belief system, you will grow closer to God. And so this video is not really going to be long, but I definitely want to say that I believe an intelligent person will question things. If you believe in God, God gave you a brain. Why wouldn't he want you to question things? You think he would want you to just be dumb and go with the flow of things because such and such said so? If that was the case, some of these false teachings and these false pastors that, that have these churches, you would never know what's right and wrong. He says use your discernment. So, bottom line is, I believe a lot of things that are in the church today are not of God. They're of man. I believe there is a God. Who is God? That's a whole nother question. I believe there's the bad guy, Satan, and I do believe that this world is corrupted. I believe we have a greater purpose. We have a bigger reason to be here than nice cars and fancy houses and, having that ideal job because you went to college for 8 years. There's something more to life than the materialistic things that people desire. I think that's the biggest problem with this world today, is that people can't get past the materialistic things of this world. It's a distraction to keep you from the real reasons of why we're here. There's so much information out here now with YouTube and the internet. It's very easy to become misled. My advice is don't just be real quick to believe something that somebody puts out there on a video or, something you read, because 90% of it is somebody's opinion. Do your own research. If somebody says this, find out where they said it, where they got it from. Find out, if Zachariah Stitchens wrote a book, well, where did he get his research from? Where did he get his information from? Which I personally think is an amazing person. So start thinking for yourself. Even in the church. Is it right just because the pastor says so? Read your Bible. Have knowledge for yourself. And that's the best advice I can give to you.